What's going on, everybody, and welcome to J Sports Seattle. This is going to be an instant game reaction to the game. This was a horrible game. Very, very bad game played. It was horrible for multiple reasons, and I'll get to that later in the video. But I'm just going to get right into it. So if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. And without further ado, let's get on with the video. All right, so this game shows who we are as the Seahawks, and we're not super. We are the same Seahawks we've been since 2016, 2017. This game was a mixture of us playing bad down the stretch, very unlucky, but it was mainly because of us playing bad down the stretch. We are not a disciplined team. We had double-digit penalties for 130 something yards. That's on coaching right there, and that's on Pete. That's on that's on the coordinators. This is not a Super Bowl team. I'm questioning if this is even a playoff team at this point, because this is a formerly 3-6, now 4-6 Rams team that you lost to, that you were leading by 13-0 in the first half, and then you somehow only score 3 points in the second half. Defense played well. I mean, you allow 17 points, not bad. But the thing is they had costly penalties down the stretch that could have iced the game for us. Like, for example, that Tariq Woolen penalty, that hands to the face when it was 3rd and 15. That's unacceptable, and that's on coaching right there. I know, and yes, it's technically on Woolen because he's the guy that made the play, and he's the guy that did the penalty, but he's the DBs coach, Pete Carroll, who is a DB coach himself. You've got to teach your players to not mess up when they need him most. And he messed up on a 3rd and 15, missed that. Probably could have iced the game because Geno came back in. That's unacceptable, and I believe this loss falls on Pete Carroll's shoulders. And Geno did all he could. I mean, he really did all he could. I mean, the play calling was horrific this game. I mean, especially when Drew Lock came in, the play calling was horrible. Miscommunication between Lock and JSN a few times, but back-to-back screen passes, back-to-back screen plays, not acceptable. That is not a good. That's on Shane Waldron. So the coaching gets a majority of the blame for this loss, and obviously the players get the blame, some of the blame too. But this is a coaching loss right here. This is a huge coaching loss. I get that your starting quarterback went down, and your Drew Lock, who hasn't really played any meaningful snaps since he was on the Broncos, or I mean, since I guess that week 4 game against the Giants. Was it week 4? Yeah, that week 4 game against the Giants. He's rusty. So what do you want him to do there? I mean, he's put in there. I know he's a backup, and you're supposed to go in and pick up where basically keep the team in the game, and he did until the interception. And honestly, I think it was a good play call. I think that third down throw was a good play call by Shane Waldron. Drew Lock just underthrew him, and that's an issue of he doesn't have enough reps, and he doesn't play enough with the team. And yeah, this wasn't okay. I mean, and then we lost our starting running back, who went down with an oblique injury. Not okay, man. This is not cool. We have a lot to work on. We have the Niners. We get to play the Niners on Thursday Night Football. And I'm not confident going into that game that we can pull it out, especially what they just did to the Buccaneers. So, you have a short week, and I'm not expecting a win on Thursday. And honestly, I might sound pessimistic, but if you've seen the way we played today, we are not a Super Bowl contender. And how are we supposed to be a Super Bowl contender if we cannot score more than 20 points against a 3-6 Los Angeles team? Unacceptable. Defense, like I said, played an amazing game for the most part. It's just the penalties down the stretch really, really sold us. Honestly, I don't think it was the penalties. It was just that one penalty on Tariq Woolen that sold the game. Other than that, I think the defense played a pretty good game. I know Julian Love had that pass interference in the first half We had a couple holdings, but most of the penalties are on the O-line and we're on the offense. And it goes to show that our play calling and our offense is just not at what it was last year. I thought this before the season started. I thought we were going to have a top 10, top 5 offense. No, Shane Waldron's been figured out. He has been figured out, and this isn't this. It's not looking good. I mean, good news is we are 6-4. We're still positive. We're still in a chance. We're still in a good spot for a playoff spot. But we're looking at a lower seed at maximum 5th seed at this point. Maximum 5th seed. And right now, I think with this loss, we're probably going to end up as a 6th or 7th seed, just like we were last year. And this is on, like I said, this is on play calling. This is on the coach. This is on coaching. It's just frustrating because this is what I've seen from the Seahawks the past 6 or 7 years. We have not returned back to the 2013, 2014 form. You can even count 2012 too. We have not returned to that form and haven't even come close to returning to that form. And Geno Smith doesn't really get a lot of blame in this game. I don't think he deserves any blame in this game, actually, because I think he played a good game. I mean, he put us in a position to win the game. He put us in field goal range. But this was a horribly coached game. This is honestly one of the worst coached games I've ever seen by Pete Carroll. And I know you might think that I'm putting the blame too much on Pete Carroll, but I'm like, hey, when you have double-digit penalties for 130 plus penalty yards, that's not on play call. That's not on the players. That's on coaching right there. That's on coaching and the discipline that you're trying to instill in the players. That next man up mentality is now gone. That underdog mentality is now gone because we play like underdogs now. That's the reason why. And that's because of Pete Carroll, and that's because of Clint Hurt. And it's mainly it stems down to Pete Carroll because he is the head coach, but it also stems down to the coordinators too. I think the offense deserves more blame than the defense because 17 points allowed is what you want from your defense. 16 points scored is what the Broncos were doing last year. Is what the Jets are doing this year. Like look at the Jets, 6 points. So this game is on Shane Waldron. This game is on Pete Carroll, and I don't know. I'm not really confident with the way the rest of this year is going to go with the way we've been playing. I don't think we can beat the Niners on Thursday. We got swept by the Rams. We got blown out week 1 and then lost by a missed field goal in this game. I know we lost by a missed field goal, but it shouldn't have come down to that point. It shouldn't have. We shouldn't be in a position where we have to score a game-winning field goal to win the game. We were up 13-0 in the first half and scored 3 points in the second half. That's on coaching right there. That is on the coordinator. So, a lot to clean up. We have a hard stretch going into. I think we'll be lucky if we win one game in these next 4 weeks. I wouldn't be surprised after that second Niners game if we have a negative record, because the way we've been playing, we are not a championship team. Hell, I'm questioning for even a playoff team at this point. If we miss the playoffs, a lot of fingers going to be pointed at Pete Carroll, because this is back-to-back years where you've had a solid roster and you failed to produce results. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes. But this was a game that you should have won. This was the game you should have won. Even if we did win this game, I don't think I would have been confident in us going to that Niners game on Thursday, because of how tough the Niners are as a team and because of how we just lost to a 3-6 Rams team. We got swept by a 3-6 Rams team. So unacceptable by Pete Carroll and company. I'm not like I said. Yes, the players are responsible for executing, but the coaching is responsible to make sure that these players execute correctly. And he didn't. Pete Carroll didn't. He did not call a timeout on that 3rd and 15 to make sure, like, hey, do not mess this up. Do not put yourself in a position. Do not cause a penalty. Play a clean game. Elite coaches Pete Carroll's no longer an elite coach. I feel like. Yes, he took a 9-8 team. He took a rebuilding, quote unquote, rebuilding team last year to the playoffs last year. But keep in mind, we had an easy schedule, and a lot of stuff a lot of luck went our way in order for that to happen. And this year, we've been inconsistent, and yes, players have to produce, like I said, but coaching needs to do their part, and they haven't. We got outcoached in the second half by Sean McVay, and Sean McVay owns the Seahawks. I thought it was a change of pace last year, but no, it's just because it's because they had backup quarterbacks in, and it's now like what? We're still owned. McVay is 10-5 against Pete Carroll. If that doesn't show you who's a better coach, I don't know what will. So I wouldn't be surprised if depending on how the rest of the season go, Pete Carroll's gone. I'm really not surprised, and then we promote somebody else or hire somebody else from another team. The thing about defensive coaches is they no longer work in this league. It's a coach of offense. It's a league of offense now. You look at the Eagles. And they are top 5 in scoring offense. You look at the Cowboys; they're top 5 in scoring offense. Although, yeah. You look at all the other teams that value offense over defense. They are doing much better than the Seahawks right now because they are relying on their offense more in an offensive league. Because in this league now that is more offensive, the defense will respond to how the offense plays. And if your offense is a top 5 offense and you're constantly putting it in and constantly making the other defense tired, then your defense is going to be well rested and be ready to go. That's not the case here. Because our offense keeps stalling out, our defense keeps getting tired and tired and tired over and over again, and eventually it's just too much for them. That's why I do not put the loss on the defense here. Yes, they allowed those late scores, but that's because the offense could not muster up more than 3 points in the second half. When your offense cannot score points, the defense is going to get tired real quickly, and you saw that. So a lot to clean up. Like I said, I'm not confident about this Niners game heading into Thursday, and especially on a short week too. I mean, at least we play at home, but you saw what the Niners did to us last year. And the O-line, horrible. Gino got pressured he had like 10 QB hits against him this year, including the one that Aaron Donald had that put him out of the game for like a quarter and a half. Unacceptable by the O-line. And that's on Andy Dickerson. And that's on Andy. I mean, I don't know if I can really blame Andy Dickerson. I blame Shane Waldron though, because the play calling has been very, very subpar ever since that Giants game. To be honest, that defense won that Giants game because we only scored like 14 points in that Giants game, and ever since then, the 13-17 against the Bengals, and then 3 points against the Ravens. Yeah, we scored 24 against the Browns, but that was against the backup quarterback. This offense is nowhere near where it was last year. And like I said, this is an offensive league now. You need to clean it up, Shane Waldron, or else we're going to be moving off you this year because you have really disappointed this down the stretch. And so has Pete Carroll because we've been figured out. It's the same thing. It's been the same thing the past few years. We start off strong, and then we taper off in the end because teams know how to play us. So, I don't really know what much else to say except that we've got a lot to work to do, and I think depending on how the season goes, like if we finish like 9-8 again, which we have it's a very very good possibility we could finish 9-8. I wouldn't be surprised if Pete Carroll goes and we get somebody else, get an offensive coach, go get Eric Bieniemy if that's the case. So. I mean, all good things must come to an end. I mean, that's how it works. Sorry if you heard that. I just banged my arm, but that's just how it is, and this is unacceptable. I mean, like I said, 13 points in the first half, 3 points in the second half, unacceptable. And like I said, that stems down to coaching. So, a lot to clean up. I will do a deeper an analysis video maybe tomorrow or Tuesday, because this is a short week, and I'll probably do a preview on Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. But let me know what you guys think of this game. Let me know who you think deserves most of the blame in this game. And if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good day. And go Hawks, go Mariners, and go Kraken.